Hello, you're watching Hexus TV, and I've got the privilege to talk to the former Mayor of London, Ken Livingstone. Hi, Ken.
Hi.
So, I say former Mayor of London. How long ago was it that Boris beat you in the London mayoral elections?
On the day of the general election, it'll be the second anniversary of the great tragedy.
Okay.
We're actually now only just over 2 years away from the next election, so for a replay.
Okay. What, are you going to have another go?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
excellent.
I get quite angry watching Boris because he's very intelligent but very lazy. And basically, if you really want to run a great world city, you've got to be, it's like running up the down escalator. The moment you stop, you're losing ground relative to Paris, Mumbai, New York.
Right, so you're not that impressed with the job he's done so far?
Well, no, it's not as bad as we feared. Because his writings were deeply reactionary, and he's carried on with about half my policies. But it's no good. You've got to be actually initiating new things. The pace of change, in your industry, is enormous, and that's the way the world now is. Yeah,
no, I'll second that. So, what else have you been up to apart from sort of plotting the downfall of Boris Johnson?
Quite a lot of talking at corporate events like this. I do quite a lot of visits to other world cities where mayors say you couldn't come, didn't have the time to come while you were mayor, but you've got no excuse now, and I enjoy that. And I'm writing my autobiography, which come out either at the same time or just after Tony Blair's. And I was really struggling for a title. Then I saw he's calling his The Journey, and I thought I might call mine Getting Somewhere.
As a sort of deliberate juxtaposition.
Yeah. It always seemed to me that Tony Blair was a very great salesman, but never had that sort of follow through. So great speeches about changing the whole world, but had no interest in that sort of detail driving things through a reluctant bureaucracy.
So you famously sort of had a mixed relationship with your own party, the Labour Party. Do you find now that you're sort of not so much in the front line as you were when you were mayor, you're still sort of called upon to comment, especially on the Labour Party?
Oh yeah, everyone wants me to comment on the Labour Party, and we're about to enter that period so close to the election. I won't. Because I would actually like to see them re-elected. Yeah. Well, I think Brown has broadly got the policy right. He provided the global leadership during the economic crisis, which you couldn't get out the White House because George Bush was winding down, and I'm not seeing he even spell economy, let alone run one. And so, when I look at Cameron and Osborne, I think this is going to be so scary if they get in. Right. Yeah.
But don't you think Brown especially is quite culpable for us being here in the first place?
Oh, I've had more disagreements with Gordon Brown than anyone except Tony Blair. But faced with the choice between a government that's finally getting the broad direction right and a couple of vacuous young men who've never run anything in their life, I don't really think, it's almost like work experience if Osborne gets in, he's going to be Chancellor, but he's never actually run anything. Yeah. We can't indulge the luxury of a work experience government during this crisis. I
hear you, and it's looking possible that there'll end up being some sort of hung parliament, some need for a coalition. So what do you think of the third guys?
Well, if the Lib Dems are gone for Vince Cable as their leader, I think they might really have a potential for a breakthrough. But if anything, poor old Nick Clegg looks even younger and more innocent than George Osborne,
Okay, so we need some seasoned veterans, is what you're saying?
I think that, if I think of myself, it took me, I became mayor, I was 54, I was ready to do that. There are exceptional individuals like Alexander the Great or Pitt the Younger, but there is just no substitute for experience. Yep. And you can get away with that in the 60s when life's relatively easy. But you make a big mistake in government now, you could actually push us back into the sort of sluggish economy the Japanese have had for 20 years.
Yes, indeed. Okay, well, I think we're running out of time here. Just as a final note, what's your prediction for the general election?
I never found it so difficult to call. I have no idea. It's normally you've got a fairly good idea of the way it's going to go. Broadly, I think people would like another choice than the one they've got. Yeah. Life just isn't like that, though.
Okay, well, maybe we'll start up the party.
Cheers.
Okay, great speaking to you, Ken.
Thanks.
So I was talking to Ken Livingstone, the former Mayor of London. You've been watching Hexus TV.